Okay, this is the third time I've tried to record this without. I hope I don't get interrupted this time. This is the finished product of what I ended up with. Just to add this. This is on the first part of the video anyway. I'm gonna edit it in. I got the umbilical towers here. That's underneath structures. They're right. But anyway, nice thing you can do here is right there. Nice thing you can do here is you can put this in. You can type a search. You got a search window up here. I didn't realize you had it. I had the settings on, so I didn't see this. I had it on like a drop down menu. Because I don't always use it, don't need it, so why have it in my way? But there's the search window right here. You can type in your parts to find parts. So when I tell you, when you see what part this is, you can type it in up here for in your search engine, and it'll usually take you to it. Of course, I'll probably get some videos on how to do this. Don't ask me. I'm dyslexic, so that's why I don't use the search engine. You have to have the spelling correct, and you do know that in most search engines. I don't know if this one's this way or not, but so this is in the first. I want to edit this into my video, and I am going to fly this thing here in a little bit. I got to put up a couple satellites because can anybody tell me how? It's no big hassle. I just launched satellites, but they got this satellite thing now where you have to have communications. I think it's only the communications things. There's a way to turn it off. I just don't worry about it. I just send up some satellites. It adds more adventure to the game anyway. So okay, there you have it. Okay, just to get started here, this is for the FSAS or FASA. This is so you can build your Saturn V and your Mercury to your Saturn rockets. I'm just going to walk you through this part here because you need to know where to get the parts and how to get them and all that good stuff. So just don't worry about it. If you hear any noise in the background, don't worry. It's just my wife cleaning the house and bugging me to do the same. So what we need to do here is first you need to get the parts pack. Let's see, FASA mod. Okay, now you can just go here and get the mod. I'm going to warn you right now. It even states here the mod contains over 300 parts from the early days of NASA and is large add-on pack. If it crashes during loading, remove the mod, then turn your texture settings to the lowest level. And even if you do that, if you don't have enough memory in your computer, it's still gonna crash. But you should have your all your textures and all this good stuff in your settings on low. It helps the mod load. It contains over 300 and some parts. I have to load quite a few parts myself. I got over 800 and some parts on mine. I think I got about 808 parts on mine. In my I also use a couple other large fuel tanks and other things, mech jab and stuff. But that doesn't have. That's just got very few parts to it. But let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to use my radon to launch here. Okay, well, I got to get back to my gaming. And it might not work. Oh yeah, I guess it's okay. As you can see, even now I'm starting to lag because I'm recording and doing this. Now you're going to see it's going to take a very long time to load. Here you go through the Boulder car. I never can get this stupid thing to work. I can't get clouds and city lights. I've tried everything. I've tried removing stuff. I've tried firing it up. I tried removing stuff from that mods pack. I've tried to. I don't like to alter the mods pack because they're licensed, and I don't like to mess with other people's license. I'll clip onto theirs while I got it on my game, but I just don't like to modify someone else's license. I feel that's not doing them any justice. I have to modify their crafts or anything, even to use for my own personal stuff. I don't like doing it because that. And you see how long me and my blabbing mouth took to load. So, and it's still loading, by the way. So, just finishing up here, and we'll get started here. Now, another few things I want to talk about here. I didn't know, I keep a lot of my other, they're kind of new to Kerbal. This is where your settings at. I'll show you this while we're here anyway. And this is where you can lower your textures and stuff like that. I turn on my advanced tweakables. You're going to need them here. So do turn on your advanced tweakables on this. And there's a few other things in your graphics. I just leave mine at default. I do set this up to the highest it will go, and I put it on full screen. You can play this. You don't have to play this at full screen, but I do, if I don't have all these mods loaded. The thing is, if you're using x64 or x86, it dumps. They dump in order to make room. And what I found out with 84s, I can't use 84 because when it starts dumping, starts dumping parts off the ship. It starts dumping parts out of the bay, the vehicle assembly base, and it just starts dumping everything until it just finally just dumps everything and crashes the game. But 64 just works just fine. So, but that's the here and there. With the new patch out, I am running a new patch, and that's one thing I wanted to do is find out. I wanted to do this. I don't like that the other way. And you can do all kinds of strange things in here. I do, on my inputs, you can see I changed my inputs around. I'm dyslexic, so when I push a key, it needs to go in the direction that I'm thinking of, not in the opposite direction. So, and I changed my launch, and I got tired of hitting my space bar and making it do things I didn't want it to do. So I put mine on the page down key. So you can change all that good settings in here. Okay, I know, graphics, general, now I can't find about the water, okay, yeah, so just accept, apply, always apply it, then accept. Oh, sorry about that. I'm drinking coffee, smoking my pipe, and among other things. I think the camera is recording now also, so if I hopefully this is just, I'm also listening to the radio while I'm doing this, so okay. You can start new training on. If you're new to this, you need to go into training and scenarios. It helps you control ships. If MechJeb's not quite working right with the newer version, the 1.31, it's not really working good. You can go back and use the other one for a while, but mine seems to be handling 1.3.1 okay, except sometimes when it wants to do the dump. It doesn't dump very well sometimes. That's usually what makes your game crash anyway. You get so much memory in there that it just dumps, and when it dumps, it crashes. And I do have just that. No flights in progress. I'm going to make a video later of flying this. Right now, I'm just going to go over the parts and putting the large Saturn V together. This isn't exact, I'm going to tell you right now. It's not exactly what it is. And I want to give you another warning. When you get in here, you are going to find out that it might be better if you build two separate parts and merge them together. If you want to know how to merge a ship together, I've got a video on that on this site. Find my Apollo 11. Of course, I don't want to hear this about Apollo 11 wasn't the blah 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 blah. Your Saturn V was the biggest. No, I can't read it right. Did I come into the right one? Oh, there it is. Now, you're going to see this right here. Bam. It doesn't fight. Now, I want you to take a look here. I'm going to go up as high as I can go. And it sticks up out of the top. And I'm going to change this. This isn't, I've just put that on there just for the heck of it. And this is what gets me about Kerbal. People get on here, oh, that's not the way it actually was. Hey, this is Kerbal. You could do whatever you want. I call them purists, like They won't use they won't use no mods or nothing like that. I call them purists, but that's okay. If they want to be purists, that's fine. But don't knock other people that don't want to be, because these mod packs are really nice. Some of them make your system crash. While I'm at it here, you can make. I'll show you the ones that are easier. This is where I started at. I built my own Sawyer. I got one off of the guy. I didn't like the way it was put together. Here's my Mercury 1. It's just a simple Mercury. You see, those parts over here, they're easy to find. And the only thing is, you have to change your parachutes in all of these. And this FASA mods, you have to change your parachutes. Just clip them in there, because they will not. The parachutes with this does not work. It's over in utilities. These parachutes are not enough to slow the craft down for a landing. They will crash and burn. You have to end up using this. I was able to clip this into the capsule. Maybe if I can get down here to it. Remember, I'm dyslexic, so it takes me some time. I'm going to just pull this off right here. And you can see I got that there in there. Okay, now let me see if I can't get down in here to the... Oh. And you can see the big blue parachute right there. Right there, you see it? That's that one right there, in there, clipped in there. It's the only way you can get this thing to slow down enough to land. Otherwise, you're crashing the ship. And that ain't no fun. Okay. Other than that, there's the Mercury. I did make some Sawyers. If I'm getting too long in this, I'm sorry. But I thought if you'd like to see the Redstones, the Mercuries. Where's my Redstone 1 at? Oh, that is a Redstone. Here's Mercury 1. I did some altered. That's just it sitting on the pad itself. And I added something on here that if you guys want, I could send you the file for these, but it's just a lot funner if you make these yourself. Let me see. See if I got this right. Nope, still got there. Okay, Mercury. Redstone. Look, there we go. Now this actually looks more like the actual. If you ever watched, they didn't have the tower on this. Matter of fact, the tower they rolled away. They rolled the tower up to this, then they rolled it back. When after the astronaut was loaded in, they rolled the big tower back, and this actually there's only had 2 hoses up on the dang thing, and they fell off and fell apart on a pipe. If you ever watch the launch, and this one, you will not be able to get into orbit with this. I'm sorry. I didn't load on here. I didn't load the other Gemini. I built a Gemini, but all the parts are over here and here. You just gotta get your drawing. There is a drawing of the Saturn V. You can just type it in on any website. Diagram Saturn V. It will tell you what is in it. But I'm going to go through this here. So let's get to the Apollo 11 and its building. And we're going to load it back up. It's big. Yes, it is big. Okay, and here is your F1A liquid fuel engine. You go up to the engines, and it's right up here. You have to get the F1As, otherwise you ain't gonna have to. Right down here, that's the B. You need the F1A. That is what it was used in there. And okay, then we'll just keep going right on up. Right here's the fins. They'll clip right in there really nicely. And this here is the Saturn S1C first stage fuel tank, 10 millimeter. That's what that stands, 10 meters. And that's in your fuel tanks. Just gotta find it. Man, I only got 800 some parts, so I'm sorry. And this took me a week and a half to do because looking for the parts, that's not it. I wish you'd have is there a way that you can make these look bigger so you know what you're dealing with? That's what I want. That's the mod I want. Plus I want a mod that when you're fueling the ship. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, that's my other ones. Oh, by the way, I do have, that's the Space Y, and I have the Space Y and Fuel Tanks Plus. And that's about the only mods I carry other than MechJeb. And of course with these mods you have to have Mod Manager. I'm trying to find out where that's at. It's in Fuel Tanks. It's about in the middle here. And the thing is, it's so big, it's a shame that I don't remember where that's at, right? Like I said, I only have 800 some parts, so bear with me. And you'll have the same problem looking for this because it's going to load different on yours. I could subgroup them. Here, oh, here they are. Okay. That's the C. That is the C. That's the smaller one. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe that is it. Oh no, here it is. You can make the smaller one. The F1C did not have. Maybe that is the C. Yeah, that's the F1C. Dummy. Yeah, just grab that one there and bring it out there. When they're highlighted like that, you can just start with that part. If it's not darkened out, fuel tanks you can just start right with. So I would suggest you start with that, with this part here, bring it out and just build onto that. Put your engines on it, put your clamps and stuff on it like that, and then there's a band right here. This is the S1C S2 interchange decoupler fairing. That is a coupling, and that one, that's not that one. And I had a hard time finding this one too. I knew it was in here, but I had a hard time finding it. I think that's it there. Yeah, that's it right there. See how that goes right in there? Pling! You need to put that in there. Otherwise, well, I found out if you don't have that in there, if you just put a decoupler, a regular decoupler in there, it doesn't work. It doesn't operate very well. It blows up. Then, of course, those are your engines in there. Let me see if I can. I'll drop them off there. And those right there are your J2 Cypernautic engines. That's a cryogenic engine. The company that made these engines was quite I use just like let me say here, and you see I got that backed off to 75%. There's reasons why that, because when I get out there and fly it, these engines are set too high, way too high. Matter of fact, I got these back clear off down here. I got them backed off clear down to 40, I think. I'll show you here in a little bit. Those are up here in your engines. Okay. Now you got to get your cryogenic engine too, also on these. You look for the part. Right there it is. Right there. That's where mine's at. Those go in your second stage. Let me put that back on. Then this is your next fuel tank. And you see what I did here is I split these fuel tanks up. I got my oxidizer in the top fuel tank, and that's it. Saturn S2 second stage tank. You'll find that over here. It's over there. And I put my liquid fuel oxidizer down here. And then this here, this part here is your, let me run this down some more. And that's got my, you see how I got this up, my liquid fuels in this one and this one, then my oxidizer's down here. If you get them numbers real quick, you can just pause it. I can sit here for a little bit and let you get them numbers. This is about what you need to get this thing up into orbit. And this is your Saturn 10 meter to 6.6 meter fueled adapter. Okay, then you got your Saturn 6.6 to 5 millimeter. Then this, you're gonna have, okay, this is your, you look for your decoupler. That's over here in your decoupler. That's it right there. That J2 decoupler. That's your SB1. So you just need to find that over here in your parts. You'll know your parts better than, well, I got mine set up a little bit different than most people. Then of course when you put this tank here on, it will not come in full of fuel. It's backed off. I filled it up all the way because you need that if you fly it like I do. You may want to fly yours different, but hey, to me that's okay. And make sure when you're getting these all lined up, they stay lined up. Because okay, now to the good part, or the fun part. This is right there, Apollo LEM 3.7 attachment plate. That's over here. I don't want to get too far into this. You'll find it over here. That's that part there, by the way. It's right there. This attachment plate is over here somewhere. I don't want to take up all your time. Trust me, it's there. It might be in parts, but I'm pretty sure it's in the couplers because it's a decoupler. It's what holds that in there. But right down in there, you'll see what I got. I got a decoupler right in there, sitting right there. That's the attachment plate. You have to have that on there. Now, I could go into this. You'll find that in your fuel tanks. Okay, that's your fuel tanks, and your legs are in your legs, in your landing gear. Your radio controls is in command and control. You'll find them in there. That's the radio and stuff for the LEM. The thing is with these fairings here, they're on aerodynamics. These fairings here, once you put them on, they're not like other fairings. They kind of, you can't work outside them. You have to take the fairings off, and I don't want to do it because every time I take them off, I have to come back over here and find out how to line them back up again. They'll be scattered all over through there, so I'm not going to take them off. Sorry, but you can see what it is. Then there's that. Oh, that is the also instrument unit. You should put that on there. It makes the shaft handle 100% better. And it's over here under command and control, I believe. Yeah, that's it right there. So you can see that goes right in that. Okay. Then, but that plate there, I'm pretty sure that's in your coupling. That's with the retro rockets. That's the big. That goes down here. If you want to put that in, that can go down here. Oh, that's on the other one anyway. Let me see here. I was wanting to find that plate. You just find it. You know what it is. You can write these parts down, but that's what it is there. LEM 3.5 attachment plate. It might be in parts. Let me see here. That's the problem. These things are not where we expect them to be at, so it is in couplings. I just had to look through these to find them. I took that drawing. I can show you the drawing later on, or I'll give you a link to it. It's white and black, or it's white. I want to find this part. It's a thing with me now. Where's that at? Okay. Oh, payload. There it is, right there. It's in payload. Yeah, you gotta have that to get your versions on. But it does detach from this. It keeps that kind of like everything attached up here. There now, that's in your fuel tanks, and it's right there. Okay, now the engine on that is okay. I'm gonna have to take at least one panel off. Okay, your engine. LM descent engine, that is over in your engines. That's pretty well up to the top. These are kind of, I got them listed on power, so that's why they're listed this way. Yours will probably load different if you got how it depends on right there, and that fits right up inside here. Let me get back down here. I could show you just a whole, I could have a whole video on building this thing here. But you build this just to build the way you want it. Put lights on it, whatever you want. There's, right there you see my control. You know, right there's the radio. And okay, see, that's your antenna off and on. Okay, this is your decoupler. You have to have that. And that's that part right there. That goes down on the top of that. Okay, because I see I'm out of room again. Let me put this panel back on before I forget about it. Okay, but building's the way you want. I mean, I'm not picky. And matter of fact, if you can improve this and you can make it better, or you find out more accuracy about it, please let me know. And that's your engine there. That is the oops. That is your Gemini Titan LR91. That's what they actually used on that. That's what I'm using on this. It works. There's probably an engine over here for that, but that's the engine I use. It works better. So, well, that's not the engine they use, is what I hear us say. Well, I found one that works better. As an engineer, if it works better, use it. Okay. Then try to explain to people why you use that part. I did use the Gemini lights, and you're going to have a solar panel on this. Put your solar panels, and this, you can have these on here, and I also put them ones right there. See that? I put control there, and on the edges here, you can see I put a little bit, that's the Gemini lights. I put thrusters on here. Thrusting is good. You can never go wrong with thrusters. It's just the way these things sit on here. It makes it kind of hard for for that to get controlled right. Because for some reason, here I'll show you this. For some reason, they ghosted a lot of these parts on this. And yes, that's where I got my mech jab at. It's right there. I put mech jab on everything, even if I don't use it. I put mech jab on it. So that's the only problem I found out with this. They've ghosted a lot of things. I think that's just to make it that's a lot better. And there's tons of fuel on these things. On the LEM and this, there's enough fuel to get there and back, and then some. Okay, and here is your descent module. Now, word on this: if you're using this tower with this, make sure I push D and W, and that will straighten this out. Okay, you want to make sure right there's a hatch door. You want to make sure this door lines up with that door. Otherwise, you won't be able to EVA or anything. Okay, but on this right here's the cover plate. That's the cover. Now I got lights on that even. That's over here. I think it's in structures. But right there's the parachutes. And again, what I did here, and you have to do this. If you don't, it's gonna be bad. You have to clip in. You have to clip in the little blue ones. They fit right in here, right nicely. Otherwise, you're just barking up at the wrong tree. Now, if I can get this back in there. Now, see what I did for you? I'm not going to be able to build my ship back, okay? See, you get... Oh. Wow, there. This is my dyslexia kicking in. Up. Okay, in. Okay, now. Okay, right there, that is the... You need this docking utility. It's under utility. And there's your parachutes there. And there's that there. And here's your flotation. You don't use these ones. Use the big ones. Okay, now I tried using these ones on this here because that made it look a little bit more realistic as a drogue, but it's not enough to get the ship to slow down to land in the water. So don't even try. And these don't work on the Mercury either. You got to put the little blue one in there, or you're just fighting up a creek. You'll be cussing. I've already spent a week on this now, trying this out. And I can go in there and change the settings on these, but I'm not going to do that because I don't have the license to do that. It's theirs. So you just work around it. So, and I can understand after. And by the way, there is a landing leg. There is a landing leg with a ladder already on it. Okay. So there. Okay. Now where is I at? Oh, let me put the docking port. It's under utility too. You just gotta find it. I do have Kerbal attachments also. Where's it at? There's my drilling stuff. Oh, I didn't put that on there. Let me see. Where does that go? See how that works. Oh, hey. Pretty neat. I'll leave that right there where it's at. I gotta save. Always save. There's the cover. That cover. So see that cover goes on. Then the docking port. Maybe that's that stupid thing in coupling. Well, maybe it is in coupling. Yeah, right there it is. That goes right there. There's a bigger one too. See that part there goes right in there like that. Then you put your light on there, and that's your. So, if you have any questions, just drop them in there, and I'll try to help you as long as there's your antenna. But you do need solar panels, and I'm trying to think. That's my mech chapter. I'm trying to think here what else I can cover for you to help you. And just build it the way you see fit. I mean, I'm not a purist. I ain't gonna get upset. It's a lot more fun if you build it yourself anyway. I'm not going to go into the whole part about shareable, because you can build it yourself. It's not that difficult. So, and I think that's about it, really. And I know some of you screaming, no, go over this, go over this. I'm sorry. No, I ain't that evil. Just make sure you get the staging right. If and this comes off when the second stage goes. When the second stage goes, my God, that panel did stay right this time. Okay, here's right there. And it's already out of sequence. Oh, that's my engines there. See, that one there needs to go up. That part here, it always wants to drop down there. It needs to go up here in your second stage. That actually did eject after this, when the second stage fired. That came off the capsule. It was just built that way to do that, and it's actually on bolts, and there's a little bit of space in there between that. It wasn't tight like that. Oh, there is that thing there. Remember I told you about that? You need that. Other than that, have fun. If you got anything to add to it, just let me know. Hey, then I'll put it on here. I'll even add to my ship, and if but this is just to help. I've seen a lot of people online wanting, I want it to ship. Build it yourself. It's painstaking, yes, but I'm here to help you along the way a little bit. And you can build a smaller one, but remember, the moon missions was flown on the Saturn V. It was not flown on the other Apollo rockets. So that there, actually, you got these other towers. But they actually they did use these ones here also on the Saturn V, and it's not really in a squared off. Yeah, I know. Perfectionists would have had this squared off. So make sure it stayed in the right spot. Nope. Gang plate came off first, then this. Okay, now I need to get this back up to where it belongs. Oh great, now my tower's not. This is kind of tricky because it only wants to go, if you don't get it right, it will not stay with the rest of the. Well, that worked, but they were going uphill there, ain't they? Let's do that again. If you don't get it right, oh, they're still going uphill. They may have to go uphill. I'm sorry. Hey, there we go. That'll work. There we go. And actually, this whole tower does have. So there we go. I gotta save this, and then see if it comes up. There we go. Okay, there we go. And there's that's all in your utility right here. I believe, or structures. That's in your structures. They clamp onto your. Oh, I had sausage and biscuits and gravy this morning. What'd you have? Right there, those are. And they clamp on right there on that, like that. I put them on there along with the tower, these, just to hold it, stabilize it. So, and one more thing I am going to mention, if you have a problem with your physics settling down when you go out there, I'm sorry, I don't consider this cheating. They had a problem with the fairings blowing pieces up underneath them. They got that fixed now. Well, what I was doing was I just unbreakable joints and parts clipping, and well, I don't think that's cheating because I even had to use, when I first started this, I only paid $15 for mine. for Kerbal when it was just had the small little thing on there. And it was kind of small. You just about had to use unbreakable joints all the time. And a lot of strutting. But now, if you got advanced tweakables on, I'll show you something new. What you can do is widget attachment on, off. There you go. And that will help if you got advanced tweakables on. If you don't have it on, you cannot do this with this. It just since I see what happened is when I took these apart, I forgot about that automatically turns them off. But just turn them back on. That helps things hold things together. So I'm going to leave you off at that. I want to make a video of this flying and how to fly it later on, because this is going to take me forever to do this.